made that very clear in the process, that we do have workers and working families and their fortunes looking out. We're looking out for their fortunes moving forward. Obviously, this is not a economic climate that is going away anytime soon. So we need to take a very strong and hard look at what we can do as a state. And unfortunately, we're in the minority, so we don't necessarily get to drive the legislative agenda, but you can rest assured, as I told you on the first day of session, as I told you when we broke for spring recess, and as I told you at the end of session, and I told you every time we've been in here, first and foremost, we need to talk about two things in this state. One, jobs, getting people back to work, and making sure that we have an educated workforce to fill the jobs that we do create. Those two things moving forward are the most important. We can do nothing else, and those two things need to get done. Unfortunately, we've wasted now way too much time talking about it but not doing anything.
Republicans have made a lot of inroads on issues like using issues like guns and abortion and taxes. Do you think that voters are ready to listen to people talking about jobs and education programs for training that will result in any Democratic gains?
Well, I think that the jobs message. I mean, we had a 2010 election that was. I mean, every ad you saw was "It's about jobs." That's how the tagline at the end of those things ran. Every Republican ad, whether it be at the federal level, the state level, the county level, it's about jobs. And you know what? We didn't create one single job yet.
Who do you blame, or is there a place you can blame for not getting there?
I don't know who is necessarily to blame, other than obviously it's a breakdown in leadership at some point. And I think that, you know, to interject myself into conversations that I didn't have take place, so I don't know who was saying what, who made what promises were broken, whether it be within one body or another or between bodies. That would be completely irresponsible for me to do. But I can tell you that, you know, obviously something went terribly, terribly sideways.
So even as you hear people on the House floor say it's the Senate's fault, you're not willing to go that far?
Well, I've been here for 5 years. The House always blames the Senate, the Senate always blames the House. But, I mean, it's just one of those conversation points that, you know, nobody wants the body to die in their chamber. And unfortunately, that's, you know, part of the legislative, whether you may say sausage-making process or just the process in general, that's how it goes. And so you have a lot of blame that gets thrown one way or the other, and unfortunately, you know, you can't really say one side is more to blame than the other, because you don't necessarily, for me, I don't know. The only people that really know what the deal was and what those conversations took place were those folks that were meeting at the beginning of June between the House and Senate Republicans, and the conversations that then they had with their leadership teams and caucus members.